Hi everyone, welcome to Mental Health Monday. Mental Health and Makeup Monday. I thought I'd try this new thing where you get ready with me. You see me do my makeup and we'll talk all about mental health, all that fun stuff. And during it, I'll show you all the products I use. And I thought it'd be interesting to do it to try to show you how I even out my uneven face using makeup and illusion. So without further ado, let's get started. How are you guys doing today? I don't have any intros in my video, so I thought today I would just kind of talk a little bit about me, what's going on with my face, because I'm sure y'all wondering, and we'll just go from there and see where this goes. Thank you for watching this long if you have. I really appreciate it. So, primer. I'll get to why my face is this big, believe me. I have all of these. I usually shop at Ulta for primers, but I found my favorite one is Wet n Wild. Glass Correct. It really sets your face. And then I do an eye primer, the Beauty Crop. Sorry, I just called it the Beauty Crop. I don't know why I did that. And I just start out by priming my face first. But first, I also want to let you know my nighttime lip routine. I've been using this lip mask at night forever, and it's really making my face super soft. Infinity Sleeping Lip Mask. I'm going to use some now, actually. Smells good, too. Okay. So while I prime, let's get started. My name is Christine. So I have an AVM in my face, arterial venous malformation. Now, it's basically a pool of blood vessels. As best as I can explain it, I'm not a doctor, but it's basically a pool of blood vessels that kind of feed into a monstrous tumor, i.e. what you see on my face. I have a picture of what my head used to look like, or in the video somewhere there. Go check it out if you haven't already. And I was born with it, but I wasn't born with it growing, if that makes sense. It was always there and just kind of grew over time. It started with my head, and then I had an operation in my head, as you can see with the scar, where they put a tissue expander. I'm going to actually link that video down in my bio so you can see it, access it easier. And then once that happened, it kind of fed into this. And my nerve got shot a little bit. I have to get Botox in my smile to kind of even it out. And they kind of took as much as they could take out of it, the tumor, because if they took any more, I wouldn't be able to blink, eat, probably be drooling, all that fun stuff. So here I am. I guess in terms of the mental health aspect of it, I really had to learn to accept it, and believe me, that was hard. But I'm older now. I have a career. I have learned to channel it. I'm a therapist. I use my career to help others, and this is kind of why I wanted to create these videos, to help you guys a little bit. Maybe someone else is struggling who looks different. Someone else, I'm going to talk about other mental health topics, certainly, but it's my latte, Duncan. I'm certainly going to talk about other mental health topics, but I think it's super important just to kind of get that out there. So kind of that's about it. I do have some residual ABM in my lip also, in my neck. Let's see. So after I prime, my skin is pretty clear. I don't really have many problems, but it's veiny because of the malformation. See, so because of that, I put on foundation. I also have a mustache. I'm getting that lasered, by the way, in a couple weeks, and I'm gonna put it on video for anyone who's considering it. I think it's a good investment and it's super affordable. Oh, okay. So foundation, I don't really have a preference. I am part of the Ipsy subscription, and sometimes they send me foundations, sometimes not. I found my favorite one so far that I've ever used is the It Cosmetics foundation. I ran out of that though, and now I'm using Wet n Wild in soft beige, and this is actually exactly my shade, oddly enough, and it is pretty good. I mean, it's a little wet. It's hard to really set, I found, but it works out well. And I don't know how much it is at the drugstore, like CVS or something like that, but I know that I got it at Five Below, and at Five Below, it was $4. So if you ever want this, go to Five and Below. So I get an extra on my little veiny area. Oh, I got hair in my mouth. By the way, we'll do the wig video one day. Trust me. This is not the day, though. So, I just put a little extra there. Okay. Now, in terms of makeup brushes, I don't use any specific one. I do tell you that. I do get my brushes from yesstyle.com. I will link it up there. Super affordable. I got a whole pack, I think, for like $5. Use code selfcare15 at checkout. Selfcare15. Get some coin off. And that's that. Now what I do is I kind of just brush the foundation and make sure it's all spread out. I don't expect this to let it sink in by any means, but I'm gonna use a sponge for that, or the beauty blender. Okay, I don't know if you guys noticed, my eye waters constantly. Now, I don't know why. I never knew why. Perhaps my eye is gonna pop out. It's cool if it does. I'll just film it for YouTube. I'll have a good time with it, but yeah. Once I set my concealer, though, it usually works out okay. But I have watched other makeup tutorials in the past, and this is apparently a common problem. So, yeah. And I just dab that in. So, how are you guys doing? It's Monday, start of the week. How is everything? Good? I'm excited to start the day. I am. You know, the Monday scaries and the Sunday scaries it's a scientific thing. It's due to a loss of an equilibrium because, you know, on the weekends you're busy having fun, you're sleeping in, definitely. So when it comes to Sunday, you're just over it. And by Monday, you're feeling like crappy and you don't want to do it. I don't feel crappy today. I'm feeling good. I have my latte. Some tips though. That's probably why you're here. So by the way, I set my foundation. I love this stuff. Elf Coconut Setting Spray. Oh my God, I love it so much. And I pack it on because that's just how I do it. Some tips I do to kind of not get so scared on Mondays. I try to keep a consistent sleep schedule, and I know it's easy to sleep in on the weekends because you can, right? But I think that a trick I do is I take an early workout class. This way I have a reason to get up and I'm getting in shape. So that works too. Concealer. What else, right? It's heart-shaped tape. Everyone uses this. Shade Fair Neutral. I have really dark under eye circles. It's darker here because of my face, so I really have to like pack this on. And you'll see I'll pack it on. It will literally do nothing. But that's okay. We'll just keep packing. What else? COVID-19, guys. How is that working out for you? You know, how do you feel about the masks? Let me know down in the comments. I'm sure you want to know how I feel considering. And this is actually kind of sad, but I like the masks because it covers up my face. I did the whole contour thing. I really try hard to pretend I don't care. And, you know, half the time I don't. I can forget it's there. I mean, listen, it's been 15, 20 years of this. And it was worse before, so. But I have to say, there are times when I meet new people and I'm a little insecure. A lot insecure, but I found that making YouTube videos like this has really helped me get it out there, which is good. And I know other people with my condition and similar conditions have done the same thing. And I think that's great. I think the more awareness we put out, there's just healing just for putting things out there, right? Letting it out, getting it all out, so much healing. And I think the more we just put things out there, the more we'll realize that it'll be okay. No one's gonna judge you. And just let it all out. So I usually just use the brush again to kind of just pack it on. And then we're gonna dab with the Beauty Blender. So my life, when I think I had a pretty normal life until I was 16. And by normal, I mean, I didn't spend half my life in hospitals. Then that kind of all came to fruition when I was 16. And how does it feel when you wake up and your head starts to grow and it doesn't stop growing? It's pretty scary. And back then, because this was a while ago when I first got diagnosed, back then no one knew what it was. So it was like really, really difficult. I thought there were no answers. I kept getting, I think the worst was kind of getting questions on the street, like, what's wrong with your head? What's wrong with your face? I think we're all woke now, right? And we're all past that generation of being that rude, but I don't know. I don't get it anymore, so one can only assume, right? Yeah, so I keep dabbing. Okay. I know I look like a ghost now, don't I? Now this is the part where I wipe my ratchet left eye. Yep. And then it kind of, the inner corner, typically the concealer gongs there. There you go. So how am I doing so far? Thank you if you got this far with me. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Now here's where I set, and I love setting powder so much. Laura Mercier setting powder is what I use. Now, I know this is like old school, the best setting powder. I don't know. But we're going to give it a whirl. Now, what I do is I take a little brush, actually. Where is it? I have a whole set of brushes, by the way, that need to be cleaned. And I typically can't find it. Yep, here it is, my little brush. It has a round tip. Yes Style. YesStyle.com. Self-care 15 at checkout. I put setting spray all over it. And these are like super cheap, so 50% off. Come on, where can you go wrong? I have to put a lot of setting spray here so it gets super matte because my eye waters and it's gonna mess up my makeup if I do not do that. Okay, so while I do this, yeah, when I was 16, that's kind of where it all started. Then in my senior year of high school, I was home all year. I did not attend. I couldn't because I had a tissue expander in my head. So I was home all day. I was doing homeschooling. I wasn't really doing much. Didn't go to my prom. Didn't go to my graduation. Didn't go to any of that. And I was like upset about that at the time. Not so much I don't care, but I'm like, it's what, 10, 15 years later. So it's whatever. But I just keep packing on the setting spray. But yeah, back then it was sad for me. And you know, I wanted to take a minute to talk about the grieving process because grieving isn't just about, it's not about death, right? There's a common misconception that people grieve. I'm packing it on. There's a common misconception that people grieve and it's only death. No, you grieve a loss of everything. And in my case, I kind of had to grieve my face, or what it was, really. And again, in my trailer video, you see a high school picture of my face. So link that down in bio. Go ahead and give that a watch-a-roosie. It's a good one. But that's okay. I mean, listen, my hair is a wig. But that'll be a separate video. So ideally, I kind of just cover it up and you can't really notice. Or at least you can't really notice enough. I don't know. In my head, you can't notice. And I just set my stash here because, like, it's there. Now I have to conceal it. Again, I am lasering it in a couple of weeks. And I will video that for you. So you get, I'm actually lasering my legs too. So you could see all of that. See what it feels like, all that stuff. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun time. Alright, so what do you guys think about Mental Health Mondays? I know this one's super random because I really wanted to just do an intro on me and who I am and all of that and why I'm here and make it more niche-y. My goal was to utilize a high-profile case to talk about mental health. Mental health, I don't know, I guess you could call it Mental Health Monday murder. No, we'll just do Mental Health Mondays. I wanted to use this one to talk about the Gabby Petito case. Okay, I'm done sending, I'm gonna let it bake. I did a few like shorts, the TikTok shorts, and you can see them on my bio, but I really wanted to go in depth about it because I think it's important. I'm gonna just set just because it smells like coconut. It smells really good. I think it's important to talk about, I've always been interested in kind of the mental psyche of everything and talking about it, but just a teaser here. I will say that the hiccups. I will say that just with her case in general, I am shocked that of that amount of people that victim blame. And I hate to use victim blame, but here's the thing, guys. I want us to think about the big overall picture. Is there any excuse for murder? Alleged murder? No, Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette, by the way. Forever Dynamic Serenity. I went nuts on this, but it's a lot of neutrals. I love neutrals. Okay. And I go in with Yes Style brush. This is a little broken. I put it in the washing machine to clean though. Does anyone do that? I do. As my base, I go into this shade. I don't know the names. Oh, well, they actually don't have names. Okay, shade 4. Bop, bop, bop. And I really just go ham. So, in regard to her, and I'm going to do a whole other video kind of talking about it. Oftentimes, the word narcissist is used often when talking about an abuser, allegedly. And I don't know how I feel about that because, number one, and believe me, I'm not condoning any abuse whatsoever. I'm just talking about the use of the word narcissist. It is an actual, there are criteria for all you other mental health professionals watching in the DSM to classify a narcissist. And often what I've seen is a lot of Google diagnosing. You break up with someone who's a narcissist, you feel abused, he's a narcissist, so on and so forth. I don't know the culprit here. I'm not going to say his name, but I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. I don't know what went on in their relationship. I do know what I saw in the body cam video was frightening. But I don't think it makes him a narcissist. He gaslight her for sure. But again, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But, you know, the thing is, what I'm hearing, it's always the man's fault. It's always the man's fault. Listen, no, it's not. It's not. I know. I'm packing it on. I know. I am not the type of person to... Yes Style. Now I'm gonna go in just to show you again. I build my base, so I'm gonna go here first and then here. 1, 2. And they just don't have any shade names. So I am not the type to kind of blame anybody. And I'm not the type to always throw men under the bus. I'm really not. I believe in holding everyone accountable. But I think people are not looking at the big picture here and getting mad at this, that people are blaming the alleged culprit. I mean, number one, we don't know what happened to her. I agree with you, but she's dead. Man or woman, is there any excuse to murder somebody? Come on now. There isn't. It just so happened in this case, it happened to be a woman. And a young girl, too. Like, she had her whole life ahead of her. And while we're on the case, I'll just put in some teasers, some things that I am thinking about. Gaslighting. Now, gaslighting drives me up a wall. This I got from my MC subscription. It has 2 tips, and I kind of used to just shade in between blending. Gaslighting typically happens when, I'll just say it in layman's terms, so everyone understands. Have you ever went to somebody and told them how you feel, and they're like, no, you're dramatic, you're crazy, you're this, you're that, you're the other. By the way, if you could see, I can't move this eyebrow because of my surgeries. I get Botox up here too. I'll actually film. I'll film that. That'll be fun. Okay, back to what I was saying about gaslighting. You're crazy, you're dramatic, no, this didn't happen this way. I'm sure you're all used to that. And I found that A lot of the times I have clients come in, how should I be feeling? I know this is stupid, but I know this is stupid, but that is classic signs of invalidation. You've been invalidated all your life. You have. And that's tough because I try not to use the word should in any of my sessions, really. I'm going in my second brown shade, by the way, because there is no way you should be feeling, you just feel. Rather than ask, should I be feeling this way, ask why. I bring this up in relation to the Gabby Petito case, mostly because of her body cam footage. It was disturbing. It was. I don't know what happened with the fight there. I mean, listen, there's the 911 call, but witness calls, you don't know. I don't think they're often reliable. He did have scratches on himself. That could have been from him defending himself. Absolutely, you don't know. But the thing is, what struck me, and I'm a mental health professional, obviously this is what's going to strike me. She was crying. She was hyperventilating. And you look at the alleged culprit and you just get, she's just crazy. Now, if this is your fiance, someone you claim you love, and you exhibit this behavior with the cops, then I think that perhaps something's wrong. And then kind of, I watched it until the end. I'm just going and shading it again. I watched it until the end where the cop was kind of, the police officer was kind of driving the alleged culprit to the hotel, and you could kind of see him say, like, oh, my wife this, she had anxiety medication, and I'm like, how did all this blame get on her? She even, and listen, we don't know what happened, but I think that she could have definitely used some kind of mental health professional here. And I mean, listen, do I think social workers should go out on every call? That's a whole other debate that I'm not even going to get into, but do I think this would have been a good place for a therapist or a social worker or somebody to kind of go on and talk to her? Absolutely, because I would have handled it differently. But I mean, listen, I get that we're all trained differently. I mean, police officers aren't carrying the DSM-5, but I thought that was like handled just fine, by the way. I mean, that cop was being thrown under the bus. He was. And Ipsy subscription, I use this to, first I contour my nose. But I thought he took a lot of time to handle that, which was a good thing. He did. But he did only what he was trained to do, which is why I think we should have more therapists, social workers respond to calls like that. Super important. So what I'm doing here, and this is my MC subscription brush, by the way, I am contouring. Now, fun fact. Now, I could do a video on this. I'm really letting it all out today. I had two surgeries on my nose. I had like a lot of nasal problems. So I had 2 surgeries on my nose to correct that. But then like I had a hump. You know, while you're under, you might as well, right? And then I'm kind of shading that and like getting rid of the excess setting powder on my nose. And that was fun. I got my second nose job done by the same doctor who does my Botox and is doing my laser. So actually we could all talk about that in one video. That'll be fine. That'll be good times. Okay, Gabby Petito, mental health. And guys, domestic violence is tough. You know, I always use here's the thing. This is the example I always use when I talk in session. We look at domestic violence of people in the home, right? And from an outside perspective, you look in and you're like, oh, why didn't they leave? The signs were always there. Why didn't they leave? When you're in the environment, you have no ability to look at this objectively because it now consumes you. That's why they don't leave. It kind of even becomes normalized in a sense. And believe me, I know that's very, very sad, but it does. And it's something that it should be talked about. And believe me, it's not all, you know, and I'm gonna get men are always thrown on the bus. No, it's not all men, believe me. It's not. Women can abuse too, but I mean, let's just get real regarding the physical, and guys, this is just a hormonal thing. Women are physically, I don't want to say weaker, but physically there's a dominance there. I think that's not why men are always thrown under the bus, but that's why the deaths are more common in women than men. That's all. Now, Maybelline Master Bronze Contour Palette. I've had this for a while, and this is also from my Ipsy prescription. Cheyenne, Miami. Here's where it gets fun. I use the dark shade, and I only use it on one side of my face because light brings face, dark brings face in, right? So I kind of try to even my face out with this. Cover up some. Look, you could see it getting smaller already. No, I'm just kidding. I actually see nothing, but you know. Perception is reality, right? Okay. So yeah, back to domestic violence. I think more is gonna come out as we go. And I don't ever want to speculate because you don't know what happened, right? I have always been under the mindset of those who have nothing to hide nothing. But again, that's just me. And I never use should. By the way, let's talk about that. Should implies that there's a universal way to feel, and there is not. You feel how you feel, and then it kind of just. So it's important to know that. Embrace your feelings, figure out where they come from, and this way you could process them fully. More latte. By the way, okay. So I get these every morning, Dunkin' Donuts, not sponsored. Medium iced latte, almond milk. Sometimes I get a shot of espresso. I have a long day of session, so today's espresso day. Espresso. Sorry, I said espresso. I didn't even say that right. So, yeah. And then what I do also is, if you could see, I kind of try to create a jaw with contour because I don't really have one. I do on this side. Well, I get like jaw fillers. Oh god, that's like a whole other video I'm just gonna do. But yeah, do you see that? I try to create a jaw. I'm gonna blend it out eventually. See? Okay. Now I'm going to use this again and tap into this shade here and just do the outer corner. So that is that. I mean, how do you guys feel about the parents? They're not talking. They're not really cooperating. I mean, this poor girl lived in their house. I don't know why they're not talking or cooperating, but they're not. And some people think that makes them complicit. I have no opinion. Well, of course I have an opinion, but my opinion doesn't matter because I am not part of the investigation. And listen, there are always things we don't know, right? Always things we don't know. Now, I know this looks like ratchet, but I'm going to blend it out. It's going to look better. So it's important to just sit back and kind of watch. But yeah, so that's how I feel about that. I'll do a few more videos on her case, kind of dissecting it, because I know it's just something that has sparked so much obsession, really. And new news comes out every day. I know, guys, it looks ratchet. I'm going to blend it out in a sec. New, and I like to kind of do like a thing here to create width, because with width, it looks like my face is like shrunken down a little bit. So, new news comes out every day, but I gotta tell you, the fact that Dog the Bounty Hunter is coming in with this and like just is I don't know, it started to become like a soap opera, and he's like honing in on them so quickly. And the FBI was searching for a week and didn't really find anything. I don't know. Weird, but I think it's an interesting thing, and I think the fact that he was willing to do that on his own time, his own dime, God bless him. That's beautiful. You know, the thing I love about humanity, in a sense, see, now it looks better. What I love about humanity, in a sense, is that, you know, when times like this happen, we all rally together, and individuals were definitely rallying together for this girl. They were. I'd like to see more coverage of missing persons, and I think that's the ongoing debate here. But I think also any coverage of a missing person is important. Just bringing people justice, bringing people home. This life is crazy enough. We all have to take care of each other. We all have to help each other. And it's kind of what I live to do. So let's talk about that, shall we? I'm a therapist. I love what I do. I mean, let me just, for example, yesterday I'm working with this teenager, and yesterday the mom just was like crying me, thanking me so much. And listen, I don't do what I do at all by any means expecting a thank you, but having the privilege and the trust in people to touch people's lives like that is just everything. It's everything. But with that, I want you guys to know, a lot of people think of making change or making the world a better place on a macro level, right? We have to put in legislation. We have to do this. We have to do that. You're only one person. See, I'm shading. You see that? I shade. And notice yeah, my eyes so red. You're only one person. And keep that in mind, because if you keep on thinking like on the macro level, then you're going to go crazy. I try to implement little changes. The little changes lead up to the big things. And listen, I'm blessed to be in a profession where I touch people's lives, implementing those little changes. And I'm going to start doing YouTube channels like that and kind of talk about the mental health stuff that no one really talks about. And I got to tell you, the one I maybe I'll do this next week, actually. COVID-19. Let's talk about that. Anastasia. Brow tint. And I kind of just shade my brows a little bit. And I really, really fill in my brows. And you'll see why. Now, COVID-19, right? You hear in the news, people don't want mask mandates, people don't want restrictions, blah, blah, right? I gotta tell ya, the amount of people, and by people I mean like individuals I've seen, that really, there's a source of depression that comes with being restricted and then not. Number one, transitioning is always difficult. And some people do have a difficulty with that. It's called adjustment disorder, right? Or some people are just have difficulty with it. Oh, and we'll talk about labels in a minute, okay? But other people, you know, introvert, extrovert, right? Some people really got used to that way of life, and then transitioning is just difficult, but they do it. And then, you know, there's no, lately in the news with the science, there's no, all right, we'll do, it's like with the viruses, it's in, it's out, it's in, it's out. There's masks, there's no masks. I mean, listen, again, I'm all for the mask mandate for really bad reasons. Well, I don't know if it's a bad reason, insecure reason, I should say. I try not to use labels. With that, let's talk about that. I'm going to start, and I'm going to call it the Google diagnoses. And then I have this old Anastasia Brown pencil. There's nothing left in it. I just used the spoolie to kind of like just comb this out before I fill. I found people really love to label themselves. I don't know why. Now, and this is a new thing. If someone experiences ADHD is the biggest one. I found people like really love labeling themselves that. If you can't concentrate, it doesn't mean that you have ADHD. It may mean you're bored. It may mean you're not interested in the content. But you don't have to have a medical symptom. I say that because the medication for ADHD, if you don't have it, is really bad. It's not bad medication, but if you don't have it, it'll make you manic. So careful with the Google diagnosing. OCD is a big one. Ooh, OCD. I have people come to me all the time. OCD. My sister is a big one. Hi, Jen, if you're watching. Just because you really like things clean and meticulous doesn't mean you have OCD. It just means you like clean, right? So that's important to note because I'm going to put mascara on now. By the way, my sister is speaking of her Thrive Cosmetics liquid lash extensions. She put me on this. Now, I say this because people all the time... Oh, I didn't curl my lashes. Oh, oops. People all the time, I have to clean a dish. I'm a perfectionist. I can't stand, like, when my room isn't clean. I can't stand this. That doesn't mean you have OCD. It just means that you're detail-oriented and you like clean things. And you like to... And you pay attention to detail. That's it. That's what it means. Now, here's the thing what bothers me about the kind of self-diagnosing, specifically about OCD. Not always, believe me, all diagnoses are person-centered, I know, but it's a disorder that is bred from trauma. What do I mean by that? I mean, you can't control the inside, so you do your best to control the outside. Shutting the doors on and off, turning the lights on and off. And you're dealt with a specific, you're uncomfortable when that happens. So I think it's really, really important to know that, and to not classify, oh, I like detail, I have OCD because WebMD said I did. No, you don't. Well, I don't know if you do or you don't, but I just want everyone to know that Google diagnosing is bad. I'm going to curl these after I put on my mascara, which is probably not the best thing, but that's fine. Oh, and by the way, I got this lash curler from the Dollar Tree. Speaking of, anyone else upset that the Dollar Tree is planning on raising their prices? I'm going to do a Dollar Tree haul soon. While they're still $1. All right, and then I kind of use a spoolie to kind of separate my lashes a bit. Do you see they're like getting longer anyway? But I'm going to put on some fake lashes too, just because I had like really bad fake lashes on yesterday. I looked like a caterpillar. Anyway, so I gotta tell you, and this is just a rant at this point, but I think the most irresponsible is Google diagnosing for a medical illness. I'm not a doctor. Listen, I don't know. Tony Moly, Yes Style, very cheap eyelash glue. It works so wonderfully. Self-Care 15 at checkout. Already cheap, and then you get extra coin. All right, so I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor by any means. Obviously, I didn't go to med school. I don't know why I said by any means, but I certainly don't rely on Google to give me a diagnosis on anything. I think that's irresponsible, and it doesn't trump medical training or medical advice. Granted, I'm all about second opinions or even third opinions or fourth or fifth. But, I mean, it's whatever you're comfortable with, right? But as long as it's opinion, do not self-diagnose yourself. It's not a good thing. Especially medicine. You could literally kill yourself that way. Don't do it. Tacky. So that's one thing. So the holidays are coming up. Let's talk about that. People get jolly around the holidays. But that's another mental health thing. I'll do that on my next Mental Health Monday. Maybe in November on the Thanksgiving time. People, the media likes to portray that people get like happy and it's a happy time. And it is, right? Yay, holidays. But it's also, a lot of people get truly depressed. And that's important to know. People get sad, all right, I think this is tacky enough. And then it comes with this little like thing that it kind of used. And it's really not the best time for people, and for different reasons. I'm gonna do a video on this, but I'll just quickly list the reasons. Some people just don't like spending time with their families. That's kind of the biggest reason I see, to be honest. But I also see the next reason is some people don't have families. Both are equally a thing. And I know the media, I mean everyone, it's not just the media, but everyone. This is a time to be with your family, right? But it could be depressing when you don't have one, obviously. And that, I've seen that a lot. And I mean, I think that, see, it makes a big difference. I'm going to curl it again after it dries, but the best way that I think I've told people to or I've suggested to my clients is kind of like to do something for you during the holidays. Taking a trip might be a little depressing if you're used to doing it with friends and such. And you're seeing families taking trips. I get it. That'll be depressing. But something I found is volunteering. And know that volunteering, this is not an original idea because I've given the idea many times, and a lot of people like to volunteer during the holidays, and people get full, which is good, but important to note that people will typically get full, and you will find a hard time finding a place to volunteer at. So if that's something you want to do, I'm just getting on my other lash. If that's something you want to do during the holidays, make sure you sign up somewhere super early. You could do anything. I mean, the most common thing, obviously, I think, is food banks for Thanksgiving, which is good. I mean, it's always important, I think, to give back. And luckily, I get to do that every day with my clients, which I'm so thankful for. I really am. I thank everyone who trusts me for all their support. I really do. Alright, I know this is a heavy video. I'll make funny ones. Maybe I'll upload on Fridays and do like Friday funnies. That'll be funny. Alright, let that tack. So, while I let this dry, let me explain my art of eyebrows. Do you see? This one moves and this one does not, because when I had the operation in my head, they pretty much took just everything out, right? There's nothing in there. So what I do is I kind of draw this one. See, there's an old saying in makeup, regardless, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. And I kind of draw this one up more and this one to the side more, because it moves anyway, right? Okay. So you'll see that now. By the way, eyebrow brush, Anastasia brush all the way. I won't be using that today because, like I said, I love the Dollar Tree, and I went on a little haul and I found an e.l.f. eyebrow brush, which I don't know. Is it just as good? I don't know, but I'll probably buy more of them because who wants to see a Dollar Tree haul? I do. I'm gonna do it. Who else shops at the Dollar Tree? I love buying decorations from there because it's like, for holidays, it's like once a year. Might as well get all your stuff for $1, right? And then it's kind of fun because they have everything. It's like a challenge. Like, what can I buy that costs $1? Oh my God. All right, this eyelash is really giving me a hard time. Okay, guys, I swear I'm gonna get it to stick. I swear. Okay. Don't mind me. This is really hard to do on camera. Okay. All right. This one's gotta take time to dry a little bit. All right, so far, my makeup routine is a little long. Believe me, it's not this long usually. But I'm really like kind of taking my time to show you what I do and some of the products I use, which I think is a good time. Okay, there we go. The lashes are on, and that was a mission. Who's into like layering this fall, by the way? By the way, with the baking, I know you're going to see a lot of wipe away the excess powder. No, I just let it sit in my face. Why? Because my eye is constantly bloodshot and red. No, it's not allergies. I really don't know what it is, but when it tears, it'll mess up my makeup, so I look like I have a black eye. And when I bake, my eye doesn't tear. So that's the method to my madness. Okay, now I'm getting my eyebrow pencil ready. This is e.l.f. I got it at the Dollar Tree, by the way. I love e.l.f. products. Oh, wait. In fact, setting spray. I love doing this. Wet n Wild has a dupe of this in coconut, by the way. $4 at Five Below. See, funny. Other than being... I'm sharpening my eyebrow pencil, by the way. Other than being a Dollar Tree frequenter, I always do Five Below, too. And I'm going to do a haul there. Because I swear... you find the best stuff, and it's so random. Stuff you don't know you need. Alright, so you don't want to follow my rule of eyebrows because I do it funny. You're supposed to start from the tip of your nose, right? It's pretty, my eyebrows are like tattooed right now, but I like to go really in. Let's make it look like I have a unibrow. And listen, there's no right or wrong way of doing makeup. There kind of just is. And I fill this in. Now, notice this, I'm going to go like super up. Super up. Because my eyebrow doesn't move. This one that I'm filling in right now. And as such, I want it to look like, I don't know, I have an expression. I don't want it to look like paralyzed. Okay. So I start there typically. And I do like really thick brows. Should I do that today? Why not? We're just throwing it all out there, right? All right, and this one's hard, evening it out, but I do. Now this, I don't do such an intense arc. I will kind of just, I'll go with the pattern here. See? They're gonna get thicker, but the difference is subtle now, but they're gonna get super thick. Why do I like thick eyebrows? Well, I don't know. I can't give you a specific reason other than I've had thin eyebrows, I've had thick eyebrows, and I just think thick eyebrows are prettier. And we all remember that the 2000s, or when we had pencil brows. Oh my god. In one of my videos about my face, actually, you see a picture of me with pencil brows. Oh my god, so bad. I don't know who let me walk out of the house like that. Okay. So I just really go with this. Now, you're not supposed to like go this far with your eyebrow. I do. Here's the thing. Width kind of shrinks this, and that's why I do it. Now, typically you're not supposed to because it drags your face down, right? But I do. I have a different reason. So, you know, and I'm just like kind of making it a little thicker here. So if anyone wonders why I do some unconventional things to my face, that is why. Makeup wise. See? And I pretty much just leave it there. And then I will do the other brow. And the arc won't be as intense. And I have been using brown. I second guess that decision. I mean, my natural hair was black, like jet black. So, so I don't know why I use brown. I think because when I started like really doing intense brows, like it just looked really intense. But we might switch that up. I'll obviously do more makeup stuff in the future. So anyway, how are you guys? Now, if you're watching this, happy Monday, right? I know you're probably feeling crappy. Oh, I messed that up. I know you're probably feeling crappy like we all do on the Mondays, but it's important to reframe your brain and retrain your brain. How do you do that? Well, so on Sundays, what I do, because typically the scaries hit on Sundays. See? Ta-da, I'm done. And then I set again for the 80th time. So typically the scaries hit on Sunday for me. Or for everyone, I mean. And a good way to do it, minus the sleep thing, because I know. It's hard. You wanna sleep in a lot of the time. And this is contradictory, and what I'm doing now, I'm taking this little pencil brush. People usually clean up with a concealer. I don't like to do that. I do eyeshadow, and I'm just going back with this, with the base, and just cleaning up my brows a bit. Now, people shut off on the weekends, right? That's the main thing. I think self-care is super important, but something I've been learning, and really it's taken me a lot of years to implement this, is balance. Now, the reason why Sundays and Mondays are so hard is because people, or it's common, I should say, that everyone's just like, oh, weekend, I'm not working until Monday. No. And then, I'm just blending here. And then the week days are typically associated with, oh my God, I have to do work, I have to do errands, all this. There has to be a balance. During the week, while you're working, you can do something that you would have done on a weekend and vice versa. I get with a 9 to 5, it's hard, right? I mean, I work constantly, because I kind of have to work around my clients' schedules. With their 9 to 5s, I work constantly. So it's hard. It's difficult. But finding that balance, by the way, I'm going to contour some. I do this LA Colors. I've never found like a contour palette that really like grabbed me, but this one worked. And again, Five Below. I'm really going to do a haul at Five Below. Oh my God. So what I do is I suck in my cheeks and I start here to give me that sunken in cheek look, and I kind of just pack it on here to make it look thinner. Okay, so moving on. Take a fun gym class during the week. And that's another thing. People associate working out with like something to be hated. No, I work out all the time, but I do things I enjoy doing. I'm a lover of yoga and Pilates, and I get that's not everyone's thing, but you have to enjoy it. Otherwise, it's going to be a chore. Now, other things you could do, I've hang out with a friend one night. During the week anyway. Do something you enjoy. Now, I just shaved my neck tumor a little bit. Oh, I just love me some tumors. Okay. See, it's looking all dimply. So that's one thing. Just try to do something you enjoy. And I get working 8 hours a day is tough. It really, really is. I've done it. I'm doing it today. I'm actually working 10 hours today. But I work Saturdays as well. So it's like, it's constant for me. So when I do that, I got this from Ipsy. I don't really feel the Monday scaries. Like, I don't feel it today. I don't feel it at all. So that helps. I'm just shading this in a little bit. This is the most comfortable brush, by the way. Talking about Ipsy subscriptions, how do you guys feel about monthly subscriptions? Because I wasn't a fan, but I gotta tell you, Ipsy is so much fun. They give you makeup, skincare, hair care, Lately they've been doing fragrance. And it's $10 a month, something like that. And what's great about it is that they do like add-ons where you could get a whole bunch of more stuff for $5. And I think that brush was like, it came with this, so it was like a set of 2 really high quality brushes for $5, which I loved. Okay, so now I'm doing eyeliner. I love a smoky, really dramatic liquid eye. I got this from MC. I don't want to say the name because I don't really like it. I kind of just use it because I'm using it out and I don't like putting it to waste. But there's a lot of other liners. I'm not really picky about my liner. This one, I just don't like thick handles. It's really hard because I have a hooded eye, if you could see. Now, notice I said eye. I didn't say eyes because this is another defect from my surgery. Let's talk about that. Why do I have this? Okay. So, yeah, I was born with it. But I have, okay, so I'm sure you've all heard about mutations of the BRCA gene, BRCA, and that causes cancer, right? Well, the PTEN gene, PTEN, and is the gene that regulates growths and tumors in your body. And when you have a mutation of that, you are not only susceptible to certain types of cancers, you're susceptible to growths, tumors of any kind. And that is what I have. It's gonna get better. And that's what I have, right? So I am more susceptible. Breast cancer, we'll get there. Uterine cancer, I think thyroid cancer, colon cancer. Now, these typically, I never get them even, but I'm going to go over them with eyeshadow anyway, so, and blend, so it'll all come together, trust me. So typically what I have to do is I have to get tested every year, well, 6 months to a year, and I get a biopsy of my uterus every 6 months and an ovary ultrasound. I can't do that. The other idea, the other part is getting a hysterectomy, and I don't really want to do that, obviously. Too young for menopause. Now, this is an interesting part. So this is eyeliner eyelash glue, and what I do is I put this on, and it really sets my eyelashes in place. You can get this at CVS. I would say it's affordable, but it's like $12. But I don't know. It works really well, so for me, it was worth the money. See? This is really hard to do and talk at the same time. But yeah, so I don't want to go through menopause. That's why I haven't gotten a hysterectomy. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know. That is, and I just put it on the base. That is just something that we'll see, right? I have gotten a mastectomy and I have gotten a breast recon. I've done that actually with the surgeon who is doing my laser hair removal, so he could say hi. 2 weeks, that will be when I film the video. Okay, so there's that, and oh, in terms of my surgeries, who did it? Let's see. I'm not gonna name the surgeons, but I'll tell you where I went. My first one was at NYU. My second one, or my next series of like, I think 5 or 6, were Boston Children's Hospital. So I had to go like every month. I don't know why I said 5 or 6. It was there that I had a lot of surgeries. More than 5 or 6. All right, I'm done now. I'm going to let that dry. And then I did that. Then St. Luke's Roosevelt, I was there for a while. Another 5. And then I went back to Boston Children, had my last surgery. And I think we're going to stop there. I mean, every time I go, it's like a micro inch is taken out of my face. So it's, what's the point? Just kind of deal with it. And I do live with it. I mean, like, listen, at this point, see, my eye is starting to tear. God bless. At this point, I'm a little, I don't care, but I do, but I don't. It's hard to explain. All right, so lips. I've been lately using my, I like pack on 3 hours. Stay Matte. I always do like a matte and a nude. Now, I don't know if you notice one side of my lip is bigger than the other. That's the AVM. But it's on the inside though. You can't really see. Now, I know this is like a really ugly orange color. Trust me, it'll come together. At least it comes together in my head. And like, really, that's all that matters, right? If you like feel good and look good, that's all that matters. Do you. Do you. Alright, so I meant to make this a makeup and mental health thing, but listen, it will be, I promise. But I needed an intro. I didn't want to just upload videos randomly. There we go. I matted it up. I do also want to know that, like, I love helping people. I enjoy helping people. I do. So if you ever give me a call. I'm not gonna leave my number, but eventually I'll get like one of those automated text things. But if you ever need someone to talk to, you're not alone. I felt alone before. It's not a good feeling. I'm putting it this way. It's not a good feeling. I get it. I felt alone. I never want anyone to experience that. So please know you're never alone. Now, I'm going to use the shader thing. I use like 3 different kind of blushes. Now I'm going to go back with this contour brush. And this is a shade of, I'm not really into pink blushes-ish. This is kind of a shade of, I don't know, maroon? I don't know. And I kind of just go over this a bit. So you DM me if you ever need someone to talk to. I promise you, I am here for you. I am always here for you. Life is tough, guys. I mean, especially these days, right? If you watch the news, I mean, why would you watch the news, right? I think it's really important these days to focus on things we can control. And can we control current events? I mean, obviously you can by getting out and voting, but you can't until the day of the election, right? So what you can do, and this is just another shade, I just go back in and I do this Wet n Wild brush, Dollar Tree. Freaking love the Dollar Tree. So, and you can watch the news and do all of that, but I love the idea of staying informed, but I gotta tell you, it is very anxiety inducing because take it a step further. Stay informed, but then where are you going to take it? What are you going to do with that information? I was homesick for like a week, and I was watching the news pretty much, like, because I was stuck home, so I wanted to it helped me like feel connected. It was the worst thing ever. I didn't like it. It was just not fun. Five Below Spaced Out. Do I like this eyeshadow palette? Not really. Just because it's patchy and it doesn't blend well. But I used the black on it. It's called Black Hole. Now, again, I used pan on this. Black Hole. To kind of eyeline my eyes a little more. So I just kind of want you to think about that. I think finding personal hobbies is super important. It's really easy to, it's really easy to kind of sit back and really wonder of, will everything get better, and really let the fear of everything reported consume you. And keep in mind that news, people are only going to report the bad things, right? Because that's what people want to see. But no one is going to report the good things, and that is, I think, super important to keep in mind when you're watching the news. Good things are happening in the world too. Now I'm just outlining like around my eye too. Now, do I recommend doing this? I don't know. This is like what people did back in the day, and I'm clearly stuck in like 2007 or 8. So there you go. French. So I'm clearly stuck back there, which is fine. You all have your own style, right? Okay, now I just kind of wait. There's a lot of fallout on this palette, by the way. Do I recommend getting an eyeshadow at Five Below? I don't know. If it's Wet n Wild, maybe. I found that that's a wonderful brand. But I haven't even seen a Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. LA Colors, maybe. They're very good for neutral palettes. Bases, things like that. But something where you really need to blend, like this palette, no. It's very, very patchy. But you might, I mean, if you are able to kind of pack it on, maybe. I mean, I found a good use out of this, so it kind of works out well. And again, this is going to look like a hot mess, but believe me, it'll all come together. Okay. So, what are your guys' favorite types of videos to watch? You're gonna see a lot of shorts in my YouTube channel right now. I'm kind of just starting, and I really want to, this is like my video to raise awareness, you know? I wanted to raise awareness of things, really go there. And this is where I'm going with that. I mean, listen, I think I have another video that really explains it. And okay, I'm done with the eyeliner look. All my medical stuff, and I think I'm gonna do like explain it little by little in videos, because I think that would be. Now I'm gonna go, ooh, see, look at the fallout, it like fell out all over me. Now I'm gonna go into Space Dust, and it's a really white shade, and I'm kind of just gonna do the corner of the brow and go in one by one. Something I'm gonna really dive into is kind of my breast cancer journey, because that is an interesting one. Did I have a good experience with it? I mean, whoever has a good experience with surgery, but I think it would really help a lot of women. because misconceptions. I'll just say that, right? I'm done with that. I say that because I really didn't mind. I mean, like, listen, I get, like, I'm the exception to the rule, but I have, like, this big thing on my face. I don't mind not having tits for a second and, you know, going through all of that. But I found that the people around me thought I did mind, I guess. I don't know. They were trying to be supportive, but it really just brought on more anxiety for me, to be honest. But God bless. People support you the best way they know how, right? I kind of just was rolling through the motions. And I think, and I'm going to do a whole video on this, and I think it's super important that it's talked about because people tend to think that this is, and it is a traumatic thing, believe me, but it's not something that you can't handle, if that makes sense. It's not at all. You can definitely handle it. And I gotta tell ya, my clothes fit super good when all is said and done. Alright, Ipsy Shanab Miami. This is supposed to be a bronzer and a highlight. Let me tell you about highlight. I hate highlight. I hate highlight so much. Why? Because I don't think highlight is cute. It doesn't make you look like you have a glow. It just makes you look sweaty. So yeah, I hate highlight. I'm totally okay with saying that. I hate it so badly. Yeah, so that's my deal with highlight. Okay, so I'm going to take the bronzer part though and kind of just start blending the outer corner. Okay, so that's that. And I don't want to talk too much about it. I'm going to do a video on it, but I promise you, I think it'll really like help a lot of you and really who are going through that journey, because I know I sure like Googled and all of that. And like, even when you Google, like it's the negative stuff you see, right? That's why every time you Google a diagnosis, like, oh, I sneezed today. Oh my God, you're dying. Like that Google isn't going to put anything else on because that's kind of just all you see is the negative, and it really puts a damper on people's lives. Okay. Wow, you guys, this is a while in. I promise it doesn't take me this long to do makeup. I'm sorry, I really need to make these videos shorter at a later date. I really do. Okay. And I will. We're just trying stuff out today. Seeing what happens. So, what did you guys do this weekend? It's fall. I had a fun time apple picking and pumpkin picking. I love the fall activities, but you know what I'm also really into lately? I'm really into like layering. I love just really a pair of leggings and just like a whole bunch of loose layers and just rolling with it. I love that style, and I know. So does every other girl in America, but I do. I'm one of those girls, so that it works out for me. Now I'm just go back again with this and blend to filth. So yeah, I love that. What are your favorite fall activities? And do you guys still dress up for Halloween? Because I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. I mean, at this age, at my age, I'm pretty old, but I know some people who like to do it still to this day. Something I also enjoy doing now, and this is really speaks to my age, I enjoy giving candy to trick-or-treaters. It's kind of fun. Now, keep in mind, in terms of these makeups, if there's something I swear by, I'll let you know, but a lot of this is just stuff I come across and in my Ipsy subscription and everything else. And I mean, I go on YouTube to like find good products reviews, and I'm definitely gonna actually start doing that. But the only thing I will say that I swear by absolutely is the Shape Tape. Tarte Shape Tape. There's no going back. None. But how do you like the Tarte foundation? Do you remember that controversy and when they had the foundation that only came up with like 2 shades? Everyone went nuts. I mean, I never used it. Well, actually, so funny. What I used to do, I didn't even know they had a foundation, but what I used to do is I used to take like a darker like concealer and I used to just do a whole foundation thing with it. So that's what I used to do. That was me. Do you see it? It's like kind of blending. I don't know. I feel like I'm never blended enough. Just so you know, I don't highlight my face, and I never will. I hate it so badly. I do have highlighter from Ipsy, though. I'm going to do a giveaway soon of all the makeup products I, like, never used from Ipsy, because believe me, it's a lot. Oh, what a great idea. Next video, I will do the giveaway. Okay. So now this is a highlight, but I'm not using it for that reason. I am inner cornering it. Yes, baby. So, reasons why you should subscribe to my channel. Shameless self-promo. So I am a therapist. I'm a mental health therapist. I wanted to do a video on mental health, but I also think that charisma and humor is important too. So my videos you're gonna find are like a little random sometimes. I'm really a self-care person too, and my idea of self-care obviously isn't going to be the same as everyone else's, and that's okay. And you can look at my videos for some self-care ideas. I mean, I gotta tell you, I keep on mentioning the Dollar Tree, but like I go there and I really, really enjoy it. I just enjoy picking out fun dollar stuff. Some self-care ideas. This is not something I particularly enjoy. I did it once, but like I kind of got over it after that. Coloring, activity books, and again, they do sell that at the Dollar Tree, but like, okay, I'll blend that, relax. They do sell that at the Dollar Tree. And I got like a coloring book, you know, one of those adult ones, but that is, and you could definitely get it there. They have everything, balloons. They have, you know, so they have food too, by the way. And I'm totally going to do a how to like eat healthy on a Dollar Tree budget type of thing. Although the Dollar Tree budget is increasing, I really hope it's not a heavy increase. $1.15, okay, I could do, but $2, it's not so fun anymore after that. But yeah, so we could definitely do that. Because they do have, like, granted, it's, I don't know, heavily processed and has preservatives, but if that's all you got, in terms of a budget, you can definitely make it work. I promise you that. So I'm gonna do that, like, a diet haul. Because they have tons of, like, veggies and stuff like that. No, I'm gonna use this brush, by the way, to blend. So that's what I'm going to do eventually. But see, this is what I mean, because diet is associated with mental health as well. Some foods, you could go on my IG, you could see like what foods really help with dopamine. Blueberries are one. One time I ate a whole box of blueberries. I swear, I thought I was gonna rule the world. It was very amazing. But yeah, blueberries is one. Do they have them at the Dollar Tree? Are they fresh? I mean, they have them at the Dollar Tree. Are they fresh? They're frozen. Obviously, they're not going to sell you fresh blueberries for $1, but, you know, you can eat healthy. I'm going to try that. I don't know. I'm really into the Dollar Tree. See? I'm a Dollar Tree person. They don't have, like, that type of food at Five Below, though. I mean, they kind of do. They have, like, canned, like, raviolis and stuff, which obviously isn't healthy, but, all right. So I'm going to set this again. e.l.f. Coconut Mist. I love it. So my matte is kind of dry now, and this is my favorite lippy. Maybelline Purely Nude Matte. Now here's the thing with this. I used to just like put it on my lips and like bronze my face. Didn't we all back in the day? Jersey Shore, right? And now I like to kind of do modernize it a little bit, you know. Leave a comment for what your favorite lip views are, or what your favorite products are in general. I'd love to know, because I always want to try out new things. Makeup Boy. I know, you guys, the eye thing, I don't know what I'm going to do to fix that. Okay. So, blush, I keep it subtle. I went ham on this. This is, it's an Ipsy product too. Sinead B. They have a lot of that, I'm saying. It's a pinky, and it does have a lot of highlight. I don't use it, like, much. Well, I mean, I do use it. I mean, I kind of go subtle on my face the day of, because I just hate highlight. All right, so now my eyelashes are dry. I'm gonna curl them again with the lashes in there. Okay. Okay. Of course I do the video. Okay. See? There is a difference. I'm gonna put more baking underneath. And that's gonna be the final step. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. I said okay like 5 times. What's your favorite Dunkin' drink, guys? Comment down below. So, Ulta, because I'm a rewards member, has free birthday gifts, and this was my free gift. It was a mascara. I could use the other one, but I have 2, and why not use the Tarte? Tarte's a very good brand, by the way. I really do like them. I don't know how I feel about like the other products, but if anything, Shape Tape all the way. I'm a Shape Tape girl. So, should I go live one day? I think I'll do that. What are your guys' plans for Halloween? Anything fun? No fun for me. See, if you don't notice, one of my eyelashes is a little bit darker than the other for some reason. I guess maybe I hit more mascara on that one, so I'm doing this eyelash a little bit more. Wee. Okay. Alright guys, it doesn't take this long to get my look, I swear. It takes me 30 minutes to do my makeup, but I'm talking, okay. Bare Minerals, this is just a lip oil, and I put it like in the middle, you know, to give that pizzazz. Pizzazz, baby. Okay. Alright, I'm done with the lips. Actually, one final step. Now this is like, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna let you guys go because I bake at the end and I kind of just sit and go about the rest of my morning because, like I said, my eye just hates me, and that's it. So I'm gonna do my baking, but this is it. Thank you guys for hanging out this long. I know this was long, but I kind of wanted to tell you a little bit about my story, a little bit about what's going on, and I will see you soon. Please don't forget to like, comment if you like, or subscribe. I'd love to hear what kind of makeup products you use, so I'll give them a try. All right, see you guys later.